Hello everyone, I am Dr. Digambar Ghodke from the Department of English. I welcome you all to this lesson 4 on research methodology. In this lesson, we shall continue with our discussion on some key terms in research and research methodology. Let's begin with the first term, that is peer review. Peer review is the assessment of research by others working in the same or a related field. The assessment is based on the expertise and experience of the researcher undertaking the review and should be impartial and independent. The next term is people. The term people in research refers to a group of individuals who may be studied to understand how they behave, how tiny respond to a particular situation do, or what responses are generated when they are influenced from within or outside the group. The next term is pilot study or project or pilot experiment. It is a small scale trial that is conducted in order to test the effects of an approach before implementing it on a larger scale. A pilot project can also help to determine feasibility, cost, adverse events, and necessary improvements to the approach. The next term is a positive effect. If a study shows that an approach leads to the desired outcome, it is said to have a positive effect. Conversely, if a study shows that an approach has the opposite of the desired outcome, it is said to have a negative effect. The next term is primary literature. It refers to primary sources, meaning original study based on direct observation, use of statistical records, interviews, or experimental methods of actual practices or the actual impact of practices or policies. They are authored by researchers and they contain original research data. They are usually published in a peer-reviewed journal. Primary literature may also include conference papers, preprints, or preliminary reports. The term primary study refers to an individual study which reports on data collected and analyzed by the researchers themselves. Primary studies are designed according to the type of research question being answered. For example, they may use qualitative methods, quantitative methods, or mixed methods. The findings from a number of primary studies may be synthesized in meta-analysis, systematic reviews, rapid reviews, or literature reviews. The next term is pure, basic, or fundamental research. A research activity taken up to look into some aspects of a problem or an issue for the first time is termed as basic or pure. The next term is qualitative research. Qualitative research is concerned with qualitative phenomenon, that is, phenomena relating to or involving quality or kind. For example, studying the stress levels and reasons for variable performances of staff in different shifts in the same department of a hotel can be an example. The same individuals may perform differently with the change of shift timings. It can involve performing research about changing preferences of customers as per the change of season. The next research term that I am going to talk about is qualitative methods. Qualitative methods involve collecting and analyzing non-numerical data, and it may include observations, interviews, questionnaires, focus groups, and documents or artifact analysis. Qualitative methods can be used to understand concepts, opinions, or experiences, as well as to gather in-depth insights into a problem or generate new ideas. The next term is quantitative research. Quantitative research is based on the measurement of quantity or amount, a numerical data. It is applicable to phenomena that can be expressed in terms of quantity or numbers. For example, studying the number of inquiries received for room bookings through different modes like internet, emails, calls, letters, or different sources like travel and tours operators, companies and government organizations, etc. Quantitative methods involve collecting and analyzing numerical data. These methods are generally used to find patterns and averages, make predictions, test causal relationships, and generalize results to wider populations. The next term that I am going to talk about here is quasi-experimental design research. As the name suggests, such an experiment is designed replicating the true experimental design, except that it does not use randomized sample groups. It is used when a typical research design is not practicable. A quasi-experimental design is a research methodology that aims to establish a cause and effect relationship. That is, it aims to determine the specific factors that influence an outcome, but it cannot completely eliminate all factors that could influence an outcome. That is, there may be still an element of subjectiveness in the findings. The next term that we are going to understand is a randomized controlled trial. It is a trial of a particular approach that is set up in such as a way that allows researchers to test its effects. In a randomized controlled trial, subjects are randomly assigned to one of two groups, one receiving the approach that is being tested, the experimental group, and the other receiving an alternative approach or no approach, the comparison group or the control group. After the trial period, differences between the groups can be attributed to the approach being tested. Researchers and teachers who use randomization must take into account ethical concerns such as whether it is ethical to withhold treatment from subjects in the comparison group. The next term that we are going to talk here is a rapid review. A rapid review is an evidence-based or objective approach to searching and synthesizing research evidence. It uses similar steps to a systematic review, but simplifies or skips some steps so that the findings can be reached more quickly, making them more current. Rapid reviews answer a precise, clearly defined question and explicitly outline the methods for data collection, the methods for data extraction, the number of papers included in the review, and the methods for data analysis. The next term is relevant evidence. Relevant evidence is an evidence produced in contexts that are similar to one's own context. Evidence can also be considered relevant when it is derived from a large number of studies conducted over a wide range of contexts. The next term is reliability. Reliability refers to the quality of a measurement procedure that provides repeatability and accuracy. In other words, reliability is the extent to which measurements are repeatable. When different persons perform the measurements on different occasions under different conditions with supposedly alternative instruments that measure the same thing. The next term is research design. Research design guides the researcher to identify the correct methods of data collection and analysis, conditions in which the activity of research shall be carried out, and approximation of the funds to be utilized for it. It helps maintaining its connectivity to the purpose of research. A good research design is characterized by its flexibility, effectiveness, and suitability, etc. Now we shall go ahead with the next term, that is research. Research is a process of discovering new knowledge to find answers to a question. The word research has two parts: re meaning again and search meaning find, to find, denoting that we are taking up an activity to look into an aspect once again, or we want to look for some new information about something. Research is the creation of new knowledge or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way so as to generate new concepts, methodologies, inventions, and understandings. There are many types of research. For example, we can talk about exploratory research, which involves investigating an issue or problem. It aims to better understand this problem and sometimes leads to the formation of hypotheses or theories about the problem. The next type of research, as an example, is descriptive research, which describes a population, situation, or event that is being studied. It focuses on developing knowledge about what exists and what is happening. The third type of research is causal research, which is also known as evaluative research, which uses experimentation to determine whether a cause and effect relationship exists between two or more elements, features, or factors. Synthesis research is another type of research which combines, compares, and links existing information to provide a summary or a new insight or insights or information about a given topic. The next term that we will be talking about here is research methods. Research methods are the methods used to conduct research. They are generally classified as qualitative or quantitative research methods. When both methods are used, the term used to refer to is mixed methods. Qualitative methods, as I mentioned earlier, involve collecting and analyzing non-numerical data, which includes observations, interviews, questionnaires, focus groups, documents, etc. Qualitative methods can be used to understand concepts, opinions, or experiences, as well as to gather in-depth insights into a problem or generate new ideas. Quantitative methods involve collecting and analyzing numerical data. These methods are generally used to find patterns and averages, make predictions, test causal relationships, and generalize results to wider population. The next term that we are going to talk about is rigor or rigorous evidence. Evidence is considered rigorous when it proves that a particular approach causes a particular outcome. Rigorous evidence is produced by using specialized research or research methods that can identify the impact of one particular influence. The most common research method used to produce rigorous evidence is the randomized controlled trial. However, there are many other methods that can produce rigorous evidence, whether qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods. What is important in producing rigorous evidence is that the research method can rule out the effects of as many other influences as possible. Now we shall go ahead with the next term, that is resources. Literature such as books, journals, news articles, periodicals, etc. may facilitate the researcher to identify a relevant problem based on the area of interest. That is what resources are. The next term is rubric. A rubric is a set of criteria that can be used to make consistent judgments. In educational settings, a rubric is usually used to help assess learning or development in a particular area. The next term is sample size. When studying a large population, it is not possible to include every individual. Research studies usually include a certain number of individuals to represent the population. Those that are included in the study are referred to as a sample of the population. The term sample size refers to the number of people in a given sample. Generally, the larger the sample size, the more accurate the research findings are. If a sample is too small, it will not provide a fair picture of the whole population. Now we shall go ahead with the next term, that is secondary literature. The term secondary literature consists of interpretations and evaluations that are derived from or refer to the primary source literature. The examples include review articles such as meta-analysis and systematic reviews, and reference works. Professionals within each discipline take the primary literature and synthesize, generalize, and integrate new research. A secondary source of information is one that was created by someone who did not have first-hand experience or did not participate in the events or conditions being researched. They are generally accounts written after the fact with the benefits of hindsight. The next term that I am going to talk about here is the term selection bias. It is when the sample in a study does not represent the general population. Selection bias can occur in two ways. Firstly, when individuals selected in a research study have characteristics that make them different to the general population. And secondly, when individuals opt into a research study and have characteristics different to the general population. Selection bias can affect the outcome of a study, as it is possible that any effect detected by the research is due to the specific characteristics of the sample rather than the approach itself. The next term that I am going to talk about here is seminal research. Seminal research is the term used to describe studies that are recognized within a particular discipline as presenting an idea of significant and enduring importance or influence. Statistical significance is another term. A data analysis result is statistically significant when it is likely to be true rather than by chance. Researchers often use statistical significance to describe the confidence in their results. A systematic review is an evidence-based or objective approach to a literature review. Systematic reviews answer a precise, clearly defined question to produce evidence to underpin a piece of research. A systematic review must explicitly outline the methods for data collection, the methods for data extraction, the number of papers included in the review, and the methods for data analysis. Now we will talk about the term tertiary literature. It consists of a distillation and collection of primary and secondary resources or sources such as textbooks, encyclopedia, articles, and guidebooks or handbooks. The next term that we are going to talk about is the interval scale. An interval scale has all the characteristics of an ordinal scale. In addition, it uses a unit of measurement with an arbitrary starting and terminating points. I hope this session was useful to you all. Thank you for attending this session. Have a wonderful time.